Hey, I finally got the milk. Now, what did I miss?
When is the next? 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 When is the next?
Wow, now that's a lot of changes since the last playtest. When, what's that again?
Huh?
Oh. Well, you know, reworking an entire game to run on the quest might take a minute, but it's finally time. So head on over to the Discord, go to the aptly named Play Realm of Robots channel and grab the latest PC VR build for free. But what's that over there? A standalone quest build? Yes, you can get Realm of Robots natively on your quest without sideloading. So stick around till the end to know how. Okay, so now for the big question. Why did I rework my entire VR game? Well, outside of the controls being pretty clunky and the frame rates looking more like a PowerPoint, there was a bigger issue at hand. The core gameplay. So, what was wrong with it? Well, for starters, drawing the trick gesture would not work half the time, which was frustrating to say the least. And more importantly, when it did work, it was just not a lot of fun. But why? What makes doing tricks in games like Bomb Rush Cyberpunk fun? Well, it might have to do with actually seeing your character do all kinds of cool animations. Realm of Robots could not quite capture that same feeling being a first-person game. And there might also be a slight difference in doing cool skate tricks in real life and just flailing around your arms with a brick on your face. But there are some ways around this. For example, the awesome game VR Skater, which has a pseudo third-person view, which allows the skateboard to do all kinds of cool tricks and flips without the player feeling like they're in a washing machine. But sadly, we are not on a skateboard, but on skates. A slight difference. So, with all of that said, I came to the conclusion that I wanted to focus a bit more on what did work well in VR, which has to be the skating. The freedom of just moving around in VR was already a lot of fun, and if anything, the tricks were just getting in the way of that movement. So, imagine something like Sprint Vector.
Top of the morning, Gelatis. My name is Jacksepticeye, and welcome to a HTC Vive game called Sprint Vector.
You can make it down to the end of the track.
That's fucking rad!
Ouch. Okay, but instead of it being a racing game, it's more of a Mario-like game, where you run around, explore and collect things. And also a bit of a Sonic game, where you chain together satisfying movement and go fast. Surely such an amazing concept for a VR first-person platformer game must already exist somewhere, right? Damn it! Jokes aside, to this day I still haven't found a single virtual reality game that comes close to feeling like a fully fledged Mario or Sonic game. Which is weird, as it's the exact opposite outside of VR. With an endless sea of platformer games to discover. So, why is VR so different? Well, what makes a platformer game fun? Good movement. And what is one of the hardest parts of making a good VR game? Making it run on the quest? Well, that too, but I meant good movement. It's so easy to just make people sick in VR with bad movement. So most games just play it safe by moving forward with the left stick. And that works. And for some games, movement is not the focus, so keeping the controls simple is probably for the best. As I don't think adding gorilla tag controls to the gun gameplay of Half-Life Alyx would have made it a better VR game.
Oh, these are pretty cool bananas.
Or maybe I am onto something here. Anyway, I believe there's more to be had with virtual reality movement. And that has driven me for the past years to experiment with movement in virtual reality. It's a bit of an ongoing journey. Even now, there's still a lot I want to figure out with round robots. And I can only do this with your help. So head on over to the Discord, play the game, and tell me what you think. What do you like, and what could be done better? Okay, now it's time to finally talk about something very important. Alright, so it's gonna be about. Are you tired of your VR streaming setup lagging when everything was just fine yesterday? Or perhaps you suffer from severe cable entanglement issues. Or perhaps you just want every new version of Ramen Robots to magically show up in your Quest library. Well, then getting the Quest build might just be for you. Yes, you heard that right. No sideloading, no cables, and no desperate yelling at side quests at 2 AM when you just want to play some Ramen Robots. Your neighbors.
Thank you.
Anyway, that about wraps up this devlog. And trust me when I say this is just the start. A restart, if you will. But now, with a clear vision and a way forward. A game somewhere between Mario and Sonic, but made specifically for virtual reality. So make sure to like and subscribe to not miss the next devlog, with a new update that might be coming very soon. Also, if you're new here, make sure to check out this playlist over here. It has all the past devlogs. There's plenty of catching up to do on this project if you're interested. Anyway, that's about it for now. See y'all next time. Thank you for your support, and peace out. Bye bye. Hey, wait a second. This milk is expired. Well, here we go again.